Where the
I didn't tab it.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Did the music go?
It did. It's on the iPad. You have to tap it, and I don't have it pulled up, so it mutes it automatically.
That was weird.
Well, here we are.
What were y'all laughing at?
I animated y'all just as Lucas went.
That's my old man phlegm
Those
clearing.
are his grandma throat clearing noises that he makes all day long, every day.
'Cause I'm old.
Listen, we're just real. I'm eating dinner off a paper plate right now, by the way, during this book discussion.
We don't dare show you the rest of this room because
I've shown them before. It's fine.
it's bad.
Listen, welcome to real life, everybody. This is Literally Wasted.
Like-
We're all real people.
Like,
Lucas.
did I hand you a
No,
paint
sit.
bucket full that's in a Buc-ee's thing? Yes, I could.
You pulled our one shared earbud out.
I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, hi, everybody.
Happy Wednesday.
Welcome to Literally Wasted. This is our live book discussion for Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree.
Yeah,
But
this
first,
is live if you couldn't tell.
Talia,
Yeah,
who's here?
I'll tell you, Adam. Hi, Benny and Tammy and Kristen and Giggles and Cindy, Jennifer, Brenda. Hi, Brandy and Kristen and Sean and Stacey and Willa, Mary, Ann and Rachel. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Hi, Christopher, Dan, and Judy, and Jeff, and Giggles, Fair, Cat, Stacy, Missy. Hi, Adrian, Sean, and Martin, and Judy, and Tim, Stacy, Emily, Bethany, Stacy, Adrian, and Sean.
Yay!
Thanks for helping, Benny. You harmonize with her. You don't even know what's going on, do you? You don't know, but you're having a good time. Benny says hi.
And he says bye.
And he says bye.
This
Bye,
is
buddy.
like the first time that we've done a stream together.
In a long time.
I don't even remember.
To be clear, this is the first time in
Take
4.
the comments.
No,
I can't see.
then you can't ever see the comments. This is how it works.
They're on an iPad.
This is when you go from an iPad. It stays like the whole time.
What's
What is
happening?
that? We got a little thumbs down thing there.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
What?
Is this because I'm eating during the live stream?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what's making that.
It's surely not from Benny.
But it's
Schwartz.
on your face. It's
Yeah.
like just on y'all.
Little
On
thumbs
me.
down.
Just
Yeah.
Just a little thumbs down bubble.
That's so weird.
So this is the first time in 4 months that one of us has not been in rehearsals.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we've been busy.
This
I've
is the
just been
first
rehearsing
time
for this
in-
moment.
This is the first book club live stream in 4 months where one of us has not been in rehearsals for a show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talia
Yeah.
did The Man Who Came to Dinner, and I just finished Into the Woods.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just eating.
So,
So it's good to be back.
Hey, welcome back.
yay, we're happy to have you back. And both of you here.
And in front of a book wall.
Time. Yes.
Yeah, just in time.
We're drinking out of coffee cups.
It's coffee.
We were going to do that.
I'm having tea.
Tea.
Which
We're
is
having
coffee adjacent.
yes, and we were planning on doing cinnamon rolls too, and it did not happen.
I made cinnamon rolls yesterday for the picture that I posted. So
It's the thought that counts.
no.
Emily, both shows were fantastic. They really were. Not to toot
Yeah.
our own horns, but they were very.
Yeah, I was in the audience. I enjoyed it.
Sean, I played Rapunzel's prince, and our own Alex, our eldest, played Jack. So it was cool to do a show with my kid in the show, and I played Jack in college.
So
So
it was great, and I cried a lot.
it was really it was a super solid production. Adam and Christy and their family came and supported, so it was very nice.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was fun.
Brenda's halfway there with the coffee.
Brenda's got just bean water without the beans.
Yep.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
no.
They called it bean water with milk.
so Legends and Lattes.
Oh,
Yeah.
froze for a second.
Y'all keep freezing up a little bit. I don't know if it's us or you. But Legends and
The Wi-Fi
Lattes.
off?
We are here to discuss that. That's why we're drinking out of coffee cups. I don't like coffee.
I do.
I do.
I I don't drink coffee, but I drink like a hot chocolate, half hot chocolate, half cappuccino thing in
Okay.
the morning. It's
A
coffee
hot
ish,
chocolatino.
but it is like half hot chocolate.
Is it like the gas station cappuccino things? Those are
That-
good. I'm not judging. I actually like those.
That's what inspired it. But there's like this cappuccino creamer thing,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
powder. So yeah,
That sounds good. I would
It's
drink that.
fantastic.
I
I drink it
100%
every
want to
morning.
try that.
It's so good.
Chocolatino.
Chocolatino.
Can you teach me how to make one when we have that one weird day sometime in March where it's cold again?
Yes.
Oh, it's
And
right
none
around
of-
the
I feel like
corner.
that's
And none of us are sick.
Yeah.
Oh my
That'd be
God.
nice.
Yeah. Like I finished the show and got sick, and then feeling better now, and then another kid got like we've literally been juggling shows and sickness for 4 months. It's been crazy.
Okay, sorry, Christy. What were you gonna say?
We were talking about coffee, and I think one of the interesting things about this book, if you go into Discord and look at the comments, it inspired so many people that don't like coffee to give it another try.
It made me wish I drank coffee. It made me want to drink coffee. It like made it like, and I have every so often I have this thought of like, God, I wish I was a coffee person because I feel like I'm missing out on like a major part of life. Because like coffee culture and coffee it's like a social thing. People are like, let's go to the coffee shop, get some coffee, and people are all talking about their coffee and doing coffee, and I don't do coffee, and so I'm on the outside looking in.
To be clear, and I still think this qualifies, although I feel like some people get a little pretentious about it, but like I don't drink coffee black. I like it. I like it with half and half or cream, and sugar, like cream and sugar. It's still coffee. That's how I like to drink it. And I think I think there is like a purist thing where it's like, you have to try it black. I won't. I drink coffee because I must, because I will have a caffeine headache if I don't. But if I'm going to drink it, I want it to taste the best it can. And my preference for that is going to be with half and half and raw sugar in it.
Adam, did you ever have like to me the gateway coffee in high school was like it was like frappuccinos, like very heavy,
That's
lots of
flavored milkshake.
I know, but like you have to start somewhere like that to get to.
I think it's great that you don't ever start, because once you start, you cannot stop.
Well, here's the thing. There were times where I tried to start. I bought coffee, bought like, Folgers or Maxwell House, tried to make like coffee, and then I would get my creamer and put my sugar in there. Realized that I needed more cream and sugar than I needed coffee. And then I just stopped drinking caffeine altogether. And then I tried it again. I was like, you know what? We're on vacation. Let me get an iced coffee decaf. So I got a decaf iced coffee. Apparently, it either wasn't decaf or it still had some calf in it, because my heart exploded literally inside my chest. It went bup, 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 bup.
Yeah, you need a frozen caramel macchiato with a ton of whipped cream from Starbucks to start you off.
Just give me the straight sugar.
But that's you got a gateway.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
The Legends and Lattes. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
The book. What did we think? What did y'all think? Do you want to go? Do you want to not go? Y'all want to go? I can go.
Have you had any caffeine today?
This is just normal.
Nah.
It's the placebo effect. It's because you're drinking from a coffee mug that.
Yes. Am I holding it right? I feel like I'm gripping it so hard.
I think you need to go first, because I'm still eating dinner.
How does one hold a coffee cup?
That's close.
Okay, I'll go first. This book was for me. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It just, I get the coziness of it. For me, this book, I kept telling Christy, this book was if Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley or Dave the Diver was a book. It's like, this is just a life sim where you're like, you're building up your coffee shop, you're upgrading it. And it makes sense now that I read the about the author, because Travis Baldree was a video game designer. So, and we've played Torchlight, but yeah, you get your coffee shop, you upgrade, you make new friends, they bring new things to the table. You upgrade your menu, you upgrade your offerings, you deal with the madrigal some kind of way. But you know, as a it was cozy, it was pleasant. It made me want coffee. I had some issues with it that we can for sure get into. But I think overall, like the biggest issue for me, and you know, I'm not as familiar with the sort of like life sim book genre that I guess this is, but it was missing. It was missing story for me. It was missing conflict. It was missing like any sort of like really just conflict. It didn't have for me. It didn't have the conflict that I needed to stay invested in and get to know the characters, get to love them. But I can see how this is like a cozy, you know, nice, pleasant, sweet read. But that's me.
Okay. Christy, do you want to go?
Sure. So all of that, except that maybe it annoyed me more than it annoyed Adam. Like there's some really wonderful things about this book. It's like really sweet. I love the atmosphere. I love the coffee shop stuff. I love the supporting characters, but I wish there was more development in the characters, especially. And like the conflict thing, I'm fine if there's no conflict, but they kept teasing massive conflicts and then they just fizzled out. And I think that was super frustrating for me. It's like either do slice of life or do conflict. And I feel like I didn't get either of those things. I don't know.
Cool. So we're going to be the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Because I did, like, a lot of it was predictable. I didn't care. I really loved it. I think it probably does matter too when you're reading it. Like, I think because everything's been so hectic and crazy, like this was, I'm speaking for you here, and you can obviously speak for yourself, Jen, but
Thank you.
But I do think, but just correct me if I'm wrong, I think we needed it because it was such a peaceful, happy, content read. I loved it. I already have the second book, which is the prequel. I'm looking forward to reading that too. And like, honestly, I think the reason I know that I needed something this wholesome and happy, even though very little happened, was because anytime something, like you said, something felt like it was starting to build, like a big bad was coming, I started to be like, I just want them to have happiness. And then when it happened, I was like, yay, good. Like, I think I just needed that right now. So I really loved it, and I'm going to make my kid read it.
Yeah, I think, and Brandy put it well, it's a palate cleanser. Like, I need palate cleanser video games that just are kind of like, oh, that was nice, and I was able to blow through it really quickly, and the stakes were kind of low, but I enjoyed the characters. And let me preface with, I'm currently playing, I've been playing in like a fantasy princes and, you know, witches world for 2 months now. So, and then I've been playing video game wise Divinity Original Sin 2. And the reason I say that is a very high fantasy world that the creators of Baldur's Gate 3, if y'all have heard about that game, it was the game they created right before it. So I've been living in this very high fantasy magic and monsters world. And this kind of felt like just a part of it, but very low stakes. And life's been crazy. I got on an airplane on Tuesday for a work trip, and I read this essentially in the course of a week. And it was that perfect palate cleanser for me where I didn't need a lot, and I needed something just kind of like to wash over me right now. And I felt accomplished in that I was able to fit this in amidst doing a show and taking a work trip. So it was comforting to know that, like, oh, I also just got through the book of the month for once in the past couple months. So yeah, it was It's a good beach read. It's a Lucas beach read. I will give it that.
There it is. Everyone
Yay.
tornado placement. That's the center square. But I mean, it's true. Like I loved it says, on the back, a novel of high fantasy and low stakes. And if that is not super accurate, but
Super accurate.
But like I loved that because I mean it tells you right there. It's like take a break from epic battles. Like it's a comfort read. It's wholesome. Like it is those things. It's
Come
just
here,
like,
dire cat.
I want a dire cat.
And there's a dire
so
cat.
bad.
Well, I think for me,
I love
like
the
I don't need
characters.
epic battles. I don't need this to be high fantasy and look like and feel like Lord of the Rings. Like I can get down with somebody just trying to run a coffee shop. And I think for me, just not really knowing, what I was getting into, I think it can still be cozy, but like still kind of create any sort of obstacles for Viv to overcome, even if they're like low stakes obstacles. Like you start your coffee shop and the coffee is an acquired taste. So when you start your coffee shop, maybe people don't like it at first. That's something that stands in the way.
And
like
another thing, like I don't know if it was in Discord or if it was like just on the internet, but I saw someone say that like a lot of times with these low stake books, there's an internal conflict, and like that could have worked well too. And I know that Viv like had some self-confidence issues and like really relied on the stone quite a bit.
Okay, can we talk about that stone? Because I've been saving. I mean, I've been the
Scalvert
stone.
stone.
Stone to me was the biggest problem that I had with this book. I think because I think the stone made it less. It made it less cozy for me because Viv was doing all of this because she thought this stone was like using some sort of otherworldly magic to sort of make things happen for her and fall in the right place. And like, sure, like we get at the end that like it was you all along, and the stone just kind of and that was super predictable. But like,
like calls to like, right?
And I just like I hated the idea that we kept going back to this concept of like the stone is like making these people come into her lives and like making everything go so well, because like it took any sort of agency away from Viv doing this thing, like having any sort of action at all in terms of like, and of course it turns out it was her all along, and we knew that was going to happen. But like, I don't know, the stone thing was a real like sticking point for me because it took so much of that like that agency away from her. Just choked on a burp.
And especially when there's a romance involved, like it felt, especially when we didn't know what the stone actually did, it felt a little forced, or like you don't know like how much of that relationship is natural.
And this was also a thing for me because I thought that like she, there were some certain things that she did, but it just kind of people happened upon her and just happened to be like amazing.
Well, but she did find Cal. Like she like stalked him basically, and I wanted more of that. I thought that was awesome. She knew exactly what she was looking for. Are y'all there? Oh, okay, cool. Y'all,
we're just listening
for a minute.
Oh.
But she like stalked Cal and looked for exactly the type of person she wanted, and it worked really great. And like I feel like she should have tried a little harder to find the other people who were all amazing. Oh, go back to Dan's.
Where's Dan?
It's kind of big, that one.
This one?
Yeah.
I need wholesome and quaint. I would rather read a book of two people talking for 900 pages than 15 pages of a battle scene. I get bored at action by any more evidence that Viv was an orc. Tandrew was a succubus. I felt like he just thumbed through an encyclopedia of fantasy race and said, sure, that sounds good, without taking it anywhere.
But see, that was part of the concept that I enjoyed. Is like, I thought it was really fun. I don't know that I've ever read anything where this is such a simple story, a simple, normal story that just so happens to take place in a different world. And maybe it like resonated because we literally watched 10th Kingdom recently too, which is just, if y'all haven't ever seen it, it's this wild TV movie from like 2000 or something, or like the late 90s, and it's just silly and ridiculous. But look, Amity, would you calm down? Okay.
Renaming the cat.
But it's just like the high fantasy world was literally just the setting, and I thought that was funny. Like I thought it was amusing that it was really reading a fantasy story that was not a fantasy. It was so normal. But also, like I said, I think timing matters. Like I read this whole book in 2 days, and it was just like a nice, easeful piece. Stop.
It was nice. I'm not gonna disagree that it was nice because I was reading this and like
it made me want
throw that away.
every so often,
bad.
like it is nice to like sometimes you do read those stories or you watch those shows where like things are going really well and you know something's about to go wrong and you're like, please don't. I just want these characters to be happy. And like this, actually, you get that. Like you get a story where like, for all intents and purposes, nothing really bad happens. Like we can talk about the fire, but that happened like really right after she was saying like, I wish we could have a bigger place so we could have a second oven. Like,
well, I mean, I knew it was going to happen in the very beginning, but like I didn't mind because I knew in my heart I was like, oh, and I was like, it's fine. I was like, I know it's going to get destroyed. Like that was built up so quickly, but I was like, but it's fine because it's great because she's going to be able to rebuild it and she's going to realize that without the that she didn't need the stone and that she was able to do it on her own all along. And it's so simple, and
it's very simple.
It's so simple, but I still really enjoyed it.
It's kind of like
I'm not telling you shouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like a dumb movie that you know right away what's going to happen, and you kind of need that.
Yeah, I'm not arguing for it. I just think it's interesting because we're obviously, if y'all didn't enjoy it and we did, we're gonna come at this from both directions.
We're simpletons.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not even that. Like, I think there's a lot of people had like skewing reactions to this book, and that's totally fine.
I think it was a pleasant. It was pleasant. You know, like it was one of those things where like you kind of feel comfort in it because like you don't, the stakes are low, and you kind of root for them. Mostly like you just kind of wish you were there. It's like watching a cooking show and wishing you could try the food. It's like you're telling me how good this coffee is, and you're telling me how good these cinnamon rolls are. I want it.
I love Thimble.
I like Thimble. My favorite characters were Thimble and Cal. I think by far, like they were so cute, and Cal in his like grumpy way. And there were a lot of characters in this book.
There were so many characters, probably too many.
Like
we got Viv and Tandry, Cal, Thimble, Pendry was the bard, Laney's the neighbor, Hemington. Tandry, Stalker, Kellen, for some reason, Amity the dire cat, Durius, which was the magician gnome, Liv's old crew, Finnis, Rune, Tavis, Galena, and then the Madrigal and her goons, Lack. And that's just the ones that I wrote down.
The Madrigal was established as this like sort of big bad.
Well, and as like it was going to be a huge conflict in the first half of the book, and then I went and reread the negotiation, I guess, like right before this, and I don't understand how they got to where they did.
This is how you hold coffee mugs, by the way.
It's not
the power of Thimble's genius baking.
Hey, to be fair,
I want to live in a world where cinnamon rolls save the day.
So you found it.
Well, and like Thimble had a huge role while being a really small character.
Literally.
And like Tim Hare even said in Discord, like Thimble saved the day, basically. And he did over and over again. I almost wonder if this book is kind of following the wrong character.
But the Madrigal, though, like talk about like someone that like you're kind of bad at your job.
Yeah, she's kind of bad at her job, but also I was so disappointed in Viv for like making this weird deal with the Madrigal while letting every other business in the town like suffer through the Madrigal, because the Madrigal is still like extorting everybody else.
We didn't get that picture though, really. Just through kind of words about like.
Oh, they didn't. Yeah, it's just implied.
But the Madrigal didn't even try to break Viv's legs. Or anything.
No.
She was just like, hey, Viv was like, hey, you know what? Listen, I don't really want to pay your thing. She's like,
okay.
It's fine.
Yeah. Well, okay. And so Adam said when he was talking about his initial feelings about the book, this reminded him of Animal Crossing. And he told me that when I was like halfway through, and I could not stop feeling that way. It felt like
Animal Crossing, great.
Like, and it doesn't feel like Animal Crossing to me. It feels like Stardew Valley, or like I have this game that I haven't played yet where you like run a tavern, and I bet it's identical to this book. And let me tell you, I'm going to play the crap out of that game like I do with that whole genre. So like, this is a story I would play for like ridiculous, embarrassing amounts of hours. But I just didn't enjoy reading it. But like, there's something here that appeals to me. It's just, I don't know.
So Travis, if you're watching, make Legends and Lattes
please,
game.
I want to play that.
Release it on Steam.
Oh, it would be so cute.
It'd be fun. Run your own coffee shop and hire the singer and hire the baker.
Make choices and like upgrade your kitchen.
Add to your menu.
Yeah, and it felt like that too.
I've got a game on 3DS where you play the weaponsmith who provides weapons to the RPG characters. So I mean, same kind of thing where it zooms the focus into like one micro part of the gaming
Dan,
genre.
I just started playing Animal Crossing in October. 2023. And I love it. And I've been playing every day.
She plays every day. I'm very proud of her.
Well, yeah, you got to do your chores.
Yeah, I don't want to lose my streak.
She goes streaking every day.
That's not true. I was saying that's not true about playing every day. Sometimes I do forget, and I have to time travel on the Switch. So
apparently, it's already a game.
What?
Ian says, check out Coffee Talk on Steam.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
Oh yeah, Coffee Talk's a game.
Well, but I want the fantasy setting, even like if there's no reason for it. Like that sounds great to me.
No, I'd want the whole. That was part of the appeal. I don't know why, but like if I was reading, if you told me, oh, there's a story about, this person opening a coffee shop, and if these were all normal people, I don't think I would find it as interesting. I really did. I wanted that.
Well, it's an extra element of
aspect.
It's an extra element of escapism, I think, because you when it's too real, it's just people that you would see. Like it's still connected to life, and you don't want to be connected to life when you read something like this. You want to escape.
But it's funny because it was those real life connections, but coming from the magical world, that every time I saw one, I was like, oh, that's cute. Like the hooking up the circulatory fans to the ovens, and then the bard coming in and playing his music, and then being like, well, let's build a little stage in the coffee shop. Like it was all these very normal, real, modern things happening in this fantasy world that I was just like, that's cute.
Yeah, Dan.
The book is just a cinnamon roll. And so I totally do understand, like some people, you don't want hundreds of pages of a cinnamon roll. But for me right now, I did.
And a real cinnamon roll, too.
You just want to like break it up with some chips every once in a while, like
chips?
Yeah, get the sweet and the salty.
Get the salty,
So Carrie Fleming asked on Facebook, did everyone read a version with a prequel short story at the end? I'm curious about thoughts on that story and how it supplemented the main storyline.
Yes, did read that.
Did y'all read the short story?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What'd y'all think?
I enjoyed it just because it was more of the world that obviously I was already content to be in. But I also did think it was interesting that I guess in my mind I had just assumed that Viv had discovered coffee first and then made this plan, was like, in order for my dream to work, I need the stone to help me to succeed. I never really thought about the stone coming first and the coffee discovery coming later. So if nothing else, I was like, oh, I hadn't seen it that way. But it was like just a fun little bonus.
Wait, did the stone come first?
Yes.
The stone came first.
She just didn't know what she would have done with it.
Yeah, so she knew she wanted out. She knew she wanted... She didn't know what she wanted. I mean, that was the whole thing. She just knew that she wanted something different. She was searching for something. She didn't know what it was. And so the stone was part of her research. And then the coffee is what ended up being like, oh, that's my dream.
Yeah.
She just knew she was dreaming of something different.
I just feel like the stone tarnishes her motivation. Like I don't know why. Just the stone it's just problematic for me as a device in this book.
I mean, I think if you look at it as Viv has only done one thing her whole life, and that's like killing and maiming, basically. And like, she doesn't have a whole lot of self confidence to like start a new life in like something very, very different. So I think the stone gave her that confidence, even if it.
That's so. I saw the stone as basically it was her sword. So she's afraid of failing. And so her sword was her security blanket in her past, and the stone is her security blanket for the future. It was, she wanted to go, this is her dream, but she didn't want to fail. And so the stone was just meant to help. She was afraid to fail.
It still
what I saw.
tarnishes it for me because like there's always a risk of failure. I think fear of failure is healthy, and I don't think it's like, I don't know. Like I think that's something you could have incorporated into the story, you know, just as a bit of internal conflict, and not like, I don't know, like it's.
I mean,
Like,
she was afraid. That's why she was clinging to the stone so hard.
It didn't bother me because if you were in this fantasy world and there was legend and that stone actually existed and there's other magical aspects around you, then the plausibility of it actually working is greatly increased compared to our very realistic world. So it didn't bother me, but I did like you got some action in the little prequel things. You saw a little bit more fight scene. You saw another creature of the world, another species of creature who also wanted
something.
out. Yeah, the not doppelganger, but something like doppelheimer. I don't know. Doppelganger.
She was Bodkin.
Bodkensheimer.
No, would you stop?
Doppelgrim.
Her name was Bodkin.
Yeah, but the thing
Gripplegram.
That's what I will.
Anyway, I liked that. Like you could see the wheels turning. I think of her wanting to get out and empathizing with Bodkin, and you know Bodkin had found that life, right? So I don't know. It tied it together nicely for me, and there was enough light action to kind of see her in her not total prime element. Dapplegrim. I was so close.
So close.
Gripplegram.
But yeah, I don't know. It was the stone was. You know what the most unbelievable thing about this whole story for me though was that like she served people black coffee and they were like, "This is good."
They've never had it before though. Think of a world where no one has ever had that.
I know,
where all you have is nasty old mead.
No, they have
tea.
Good leaf water.
Yeah, bean water, leaf water.
We should do a poll. Do people like leaf water or bean water better?
But you gotta think that's part of the Adam. You brought up that like it's unbelievable that everyone like who tried it liked it. That's not true. There was a guy in the beginning who didn't. But also, if the purpose of the stone is to bring like to like, does it not stand to reason that because she's there, it's bringing in people who are going to like coffee because that was her dream?
See, that makes the stone suck for me because like
that's not what the stone did. It brought personalities together, right? It shouldn't have anything to do with coffee.
If everyone likes coffee, brings together all the coffee people.
No, that's not a thing.
But yeah, I don't know. Like the stone being this external force that like attracts the things to her, whether it just the belief in it or like the fact that she like made it such a such a thing. It's just like it would have meant so much more like if she had just tried it, if the stone wasn't involved for me.
I think at the beginning, though, it's the stone plus the ley lines were actually at play in the beginning because if you remember, Hemmingston the third, he comes back later and says that the ley lines had shifted. There was some sort of cosmic connection.
They didn't shift. They were pulsing. So ley lines pulse. Ley lines pulse. And the reason he came and was doing that research is because Viv had buried the stone there. It was causing them to stay strong and steady instead of pulse. So once the stone was gone, they went back to pulsing normally. So the point where the stone was placed mattered, which is why she did all that stuff in the beginning with the spindly, whatever. I would have loved to know more about like all the magic in the schools and the the studies and all of it.
Yeah.
Like I want to know more about this world, but I do like that I felt safe reading it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to worry that this book was going to hurt me. I get it. Yeah. We've read books that hurt you, and I just didn't want that right now. So I was relieved to not have it.
I need my pain.
Okay, but here's the thing. But then he drank it later, and I do understand this because for the longest time I was the person, and I still will. I will drink iced coffee when it's 20 degrees outside.
I'll drink hot chocolate when it's 90 degrees outside.
Yeah.
That's fair. Hot chocolate's delicious.
I like the short story, actually, at the end. I really liked seeing Viv as, like, doing her, like, bloody job, kind of, but then, like, also transitioning into the kinder person that I think she wants to be. And I know that I say this every time, but, like, I wanted more of that. Like, I like Viv the orc being a kind killer mercenary person.
I took a picture, like, to what you're saying and also what Kristen is saying. I knew right away because I took a picture in the very beginning when I started reading. It was on page 19. And it was right when she met Cal. And when he said his whole name, and then he said, it's a hob name, you can call me Cal. And she said, whichever you like best, I don't need your name to suit me. That was like instantly on page 19. I was like, I'm going to love this. Like, I think maybe that matters too. Like setting up, I just determined like immediately, I was like, I'm going to love this book. And it just, that held my mindset for the rest of it.
I think there was a body in this. We had a body count of 1 in this book, did we not?
Well, the creature she got the stone from.
Well, okay.
Yeah, like
also,
and then Finnis.
Finnis got it with the cat.
But
do we know that?
Green. And
it was
I was about to say, do we know that?
All that we know is
he's like his last moment, right? It was like his last thought is what he said. Right?
Yeah.
It's implied.
Well, so I wanted more from the ending too, like Finnis's ending, because they made a big deal about like attracts like, and Finnis has the stone, so that's going to be really interesting for him and not in a good way. And then the cat pounces him, and like it was satisfying for the dire cat that like obviously had adopted Viv in the coffee shop to get the last word in with Finnis, but I wanted to see what that looked like. The like attracts like with Finnis.
Anybody else have an issue with Tandry coming in and dictating who Viv should be and how to live her life? Like, I know it's supposed to be seen as sweet and supportive, but she just kind of came in and called the shots.
Such a succubus move.
With the bedroom, I guess.
I'm going to push you out of that chair.
Well, I mean, I think there was like, Tandry would insert herself when the rage would start to come from Viv, and she was presented with options that were less up and up. Like, if she had the option to like break somebody's legs or like stabs, Tandry would be like, no, that's not who you are anymore.
Tandry also has the ability to sense certain things, and I think she knew from that ability who Viv wanted to be and tried to help Viv be that person.
That is how I saw it. Like, at first I did kind of, and it was really, I think we're thinking about that same confrontation. It was like when Rune and Galena came in and everything, and we're like, oh, Tandry's being a little ballsier than I had expected, speaking for Viv. But then realizing later as you learn her abilities and that she basically is just this barometer for emotion, that she really could always sense the turmoil within Viv, being like trying to move on. She spent all this time with Viv recognizing she wanted to leave her past behind and become someone else, but that she was so afraid for this big scary orc that she was scared to do that in these moments. And so it's like Tangerine was being brave for her, and so it didn't bother me. Yeah.
I didn't really bother me much either. I mean, I thought that Tandri was an interesting character.
Can you hear Dire Cat? The other one?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
We have a horrible yowler upstairs and one downstairs.
Oh.
They're the worst.
I think
He's cute.
like I actually really liked the prequel. I liked seeing her and her old crew and how that dynamic worked, and like how her role in that, and like how they're all, how they did their thing together. I thought that was fun. It was kind of got some Locke Lamora vibes from that a little bit.
Yeah, she was the tank. Like
She was the tank.
she was the tank.
Well, that's why I'm excited to read the next book, because I didn't realize the next book is a prequel. The next book is all about her life before.
Is
So I
it?
wonder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
So
I
it is not a continuation. It is young Viv.
We knew it was a prequel, but it's Bookshops and Bone Dust.
That's what it was about.
And so
Running a bookshop.
Yeah, we kind of thought it might be about that, which I don't know. I would
Viv
like
is
to
a
know.
young, battle-hungry orc. So this is the beginning. I think this is, judging from the back, I think this is going to be her actually building her crew. I'm hoping that we meet Rune and Galena in this one.
Interesting. That could be,
Because we know she loves to read. So I think my hope is that this is maybe her discovering that she loves to read.
Still cozy. But we've read other cozy books in this book club, like The House on the Cerulean Sea, which I would consider to be quite cozy. That had a little bit. That had more conflict in it. More conflict between the characters and
a lot of
conflict.
character growth.
Hard-boiled Wonderland and the end of the world.
Oh, that was the coziest.
That was super cozy.
Super. I don't know. Like
The hike. Come on,
The
guys.
hike.
was the humans cozy?
Yeah.
There's some
definitely
dark.
more murder in there.
There's murder, but the humans made me. It was. I think we described it as pleasant, lovely. Those were the words that I think we described it as. We can go back and watch our old book discussion.
Yeah.
The what's the house one with the dog? That one was a little cozy. That's
The heir of
Keeper of Enchanted Rooms is a little.
The heir was the second or the third one?
The Heir of Uncertain Magic
Yeah,
was
the
the
third
second
was Boy
one.
of Chaotic Making, which I have
That-
not
that was-
started
I would-
reading yet.
I would say those are pretty cozy. The stakes are. There's a little bit more darkness. They get in a little bit more action, but overall, pretty chill.
Yeah.
So, I guess as cozy books go, I think I enjoyed House on the Cerulean Sea more than this one. I mean, this one was like base, like
Interview with the Vampire was cozy.
oh my god, right?
It was cozy because it put me right to sleep
Yeah.
in my bed.
I do like the cozy genre. I want to read more, and maybe not in this world, but I don't know. I think Bookshops and Bone Dust might be more my speed for this world. I do want to talk about the author a little bit more, though. We talked about how he helped build video games, but he's also a audiobook narrator.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did anybody listen to his book? Lucas, did you?
Nope, I've read it on Kindle.
I listened to it and he was great, but I knew I recognized his voice, so I went and looked back at his catalog, and it looks like he is Will White's narrator. Will White uses him for all of his stuff, and he actually narrated our Pirates and Ninja books.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Will White.
Yeah, so this was his first book to write. He was a video game designer, and then he narrated all those books.
We played one of his.
We played one of his games, and I've listened to like 5 of his books before this one. Well, 5 of his narrated books.
Yeah, as soon as I read that he designed video games, I went into Lucas's office and I was like, "Did you play this one? Did you play this one?"
have Torchlight on PC, but I got it for free. So
Torchlight is like it's like kind of a stripped down Diablo.
It's like a dungeon crawler, right?
Yeah, it's like Diablo without all the bloat.
Mm.
He thanked Will White in his acknowledgments.
Yeah.
What did Will White write? Will White write?
The of sea and shadow and of shadow and sea.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, and also, if you did read his acknowledgments, then you also know that he did have a author approved website for a recipe for thimblets.
Yep, I pulled that up.
Yeah,
So
this
cooking the book is back.
This was definitely cooking the book.
Yep.
Oh,
thimblets.
absolutely.
Yeah,
There's
I
like-
already pulled it up and I read after I Googled what cardamom was.
Cardamom.
Cardamom?
Biscotti-like cookies that are meant to be dunked in coffee.
I mean, you do what you got to do. I'm usually not the biggest fan of biscotti, but
I'm not either.
But, like, I'm really interested to try to make it.
I really wish there was a cinnamon roll recipe in there though, because
We can find one.
We can just go to Cindy's and pick those up.
yeah, let's just go buy cinnamon rolls and eat them.
I mean, listen, the ones you do what you do with what you have, because the picture that I posted was a Pillsbury from a can, all right,
In the air
and
fryer.
I did it in the air fryer because that's what we have. That's why it's kind of sad. It was definitely not the size of an orc's head.
Then he went, ah! He was disappointed.
Benny's in there. He's eating one too many cinnamon roll, I think.
No, it's cinnamon roll. Can we do it for dessert?
I just made them yesterday. We have orange rolls.
Ooh.
But
Also
yeah,
in a can.
I don't know. What was I going to say? We haven't really talked about the romance aspect of it because somebody said that it would annoy them that this book is listed as a romance, and I don't know. The romance was light. It was
sweet.
It was sweet.
Barely there.
It was barely there. It was nice to see. I was waiting for it to happen because he knew it was developing, brewing. Sorry,
Not brewing.
Baking,
brewing.
but yeah, I thought the romance wasn't forced, which I liked. I appreciated that. It was sweet. It wasn't like, especially when you're dealing with a succubus, like it wasn't overtly sexual.
Yes.
Thankfully.
I was very appreciative of that. We've read some books where they have a lot of erotic content that serves no purpose to the story. And honestly, I would have been incredibly disappointed if we had gotten that in this one. And so I was very pleased that it at least stuck with the wholesome kind vibe of it just being pure and sweet, and that like even there was nothing presumptuous about it. Like, I love when Viv had the upstairs redesigned and had Tandree's own room made, like it wasn't an immediately like, I made this into a space for us and you're moving in with me.
Yeah, you're sleeping in my bed.
Yeah, like everything about it was kind, and like you said, it wasn't forced, it wasn't rushed, and I appreciated that a lot because it really, honestly, I find it really annoying when you read a book and you feel like it's just like a lot of movies these days, and it's like content just for content's sake, like, and it doesn't actually do anything for the story. I don't need it.
Yeah, you don't always need a love story. And it was that V.E. Schwab's thing when we did our little Q&A with her, is like love story.
But I mean, this was a love story, and I didn't mind. Like, I loved the love aspect of it. I think the difference is it was a love story and not a sex story. And we do get that in books sometimes where it's like, okay, that's
great. It was a slow, nice change of pace, just like the book for me. It was like, oh, nothing ever really happened, but you see the blossom of love flourish by the end, and that's nice.
It was sweet and kind, just like the cover said it would be.
Yeah. You sold us, it's not false advertising.
Yeah.
And Dan says he agrees that reveal is redeeming, but then why is she Why is she a succubus if she isn't succubusing? Well, maybe she wanted a break.
I was about to say, and that was kind of the whole point of the book. The succubus, like, that is what is expected. Just like this is what's expected of an orc. You don't have to be what is expected of you. That is the point of their characters. And I liked that.
I mean,
Like, she doesn't have to be a killer. And obviously, Tandri felt like she had to completely hide and cloak her ability and who she was.
the only thing she's crushing is the coffee business, you know? Like,
I like Tim's comment. Put that one up on the screen.
It was not. There were no dolphins. Nor were there crabs in this book.
no crabs or dolphins.
No,
We haven't read the
just a lot
prequel
of
yet.
Cinnamon rolls. I will let you know if there's a crab or a dolphin in bookshops. And bone dust. I don't think there is. So,
Could be, though. The night is young. But yeah, you know, I think it's, again, I guess, you know, the book, for me, the book was fine. I didn't, you know, things just kind of fell into place. Much to just sort of happenstance. It wasn't, you know, people just kind of entered her life. Ratkin showed up, who already had a job, as Christy pointed out. Like, he was already baking,
Mm-hmm.
and just turned out to be the most fantastic baker of all time.
he's
I
genius.
really wish we had gotten more of him. He was so good.
He's
was-
right.
Ratkin, though, the thing about Ratkin, though, is like
Ratkin is what he is. His name is Thimble, right?
the Thimble, yeah, he was a Ratkin.
Yeah.
Sorry,
There he is. There he is with a roll.
Thimble, my bad. But yeah, he, what?
He's on here.
That's him. He's on the book.
Oh, he's so small and
Thimble.
cute. Thimble, but he, I think
He's
we got just
he's
enough
like
of
he
him.
wants a big stove.
Like, Thimble is not. It's like when you make the supporting character the main character in their spin-off show, and they're like, yeah, okay, that we don't need more. I think we got a good amount of Thimble. I liked his contributions to it's like when they made Joey his own show, you know, from Friends.
No one talks to no one talks about that.
What was it called?
It was called Joey.
Oh, ooh.
I guess it worked for Frasier.
They work for Frasier.
Yeah, he was like heavy. I thought of that a lot. I was like, good cooks can come from anywhere.
I did. I was thinking. I was like, is this what if, in Ratatouille, when they're fleeing the house, one of them falls into a portal and goes into this world, and that's Ratkin.
Except he's big.
Well,
Small
when he
for a
goes through the
person, big for a
portal,
rat.
maybe when you go through the portal, the dimensions of the
talks.
people. Remy talks.
No, he doesn't.
Damn,
He squeaks.
what streaming service is using Joey as their like headline Facebook ad? Yikes! They must not be doing so well.
Paramount Plus.
But like, hey, no, don't you talk bad about Paramount Plus.
Listen, all I'm saying is we've had Paramount Plus for 9 months, and I've only paid for 2 of them because every time I go to cancel, they're like, "Please don't go.
Please,
Have 2 more
here's
months for
6
free."
months for free.
Oh, they do that?
Yeah,
The streaming service.
I've literally paid for 2 months out of like 9 now.
Well, I've sure watched my share of Star Trek.
They would call your bluff though because they know your habits.
Yeah.
See, they knew for me. They were like, she only watched Why Women Kill, and then she tried to immediately cancel us after
Right.
that.
I know you were watching Star Trek: The Original Series at 2:30 a.m.
Yeah.
You watched 3.5 episodes, but were awake for half.
But this one's a little longer. Okay, the second book prequel is a little longer.
Well, yeah. Have some announcements, right?
Dude.
Have
Yes.
announcements.
Like book announcement.
Aha! The poll is ended.
The poll has ended,
Oh.
and it was a little close. I will post the official thingamajiggers tomorrow, but Rabbits did clinch it by 5 votes.
Wow.
Whoa.
Amazon is already updated. So the runners up are there. Rabbits is there for March. Like it's all up there, but I'll post the official like graphics and links and stuff tomorrow. But should you already have it bookmarked or whatever, it is there.
Nice.
Although I feel like when I looked earlier, I'll say that. Rabbits by who? The hardcover was like expensive, so I added it just for whoever should want it. But I definitely would opt for the paperback.
So much to Elmer Fudd's delight, we are reading Rabbits.
Wabbits.
Yes. And then
I do not think this one is a cute, cozy read, though. The title
No.
is very misleading.
It's like Watership Down.
also, I don't know if Dark Book Club's poll has ended or not, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
they're going to be
Yeah,
reading
I know the winner too.
World War Z. And if you haven't read that, go read it with them. It's so good.
I would read that.
Chrissy
It's
is.
so good.
Have fun.
It's not like
Zombies
Watership
don't bother
Down.
me like Talia does.
Watership Down is not a cozy book. It's just rabbits. But yeah, it was a close one between WWZ, World War Z, and World War Z.
Yeah, Leanne pulled Adam and did an old man poll.
So yeah, World War Z. Christy's been trying to get me to read this one by Max Brooks, son of Mel.
Really?
It's excellent.
Yeah,
Mel Brooks' son
yeah,
What?
wrote World War Z, or
yeah,
really?
yeah.
No.
No, come on.
Google it. Now you're making me second guess, but I'm pretty sure that's Mel Brooks' son. Now I gotta Google it. But yeah, I think.
What else? Do we have any other announcements? Do we have a game night coming up with
I don't know. Giggles can chime in on that one. I think there's.
well, and join the Discord if you
Join the
want.
Discord.
He's Mel Brooks' son.
People are talking
Yeah.
there all the time, and that's how you find out some cool stuff like the game night. And
He
also,
kind of looks like Mel Brooks.
they have great discussions about everything.
Brooks lineage confirmed.
Talk about trying to separate your legacy from your father.
Wow.
It's like El King.
Who?
Don't worry about it. I'll tell you later. You learn something new every day.
Game night this week starting around 8 p.m. That is Eastern time.
Mm.
Trying some board and card games online.
Nice.
So yeah, if we're home, we'll do game night. 8 Eastern, 7 Central. So yeah, Giggles is on YouTube. So everybody on Facebook, it's happening. It's on Discord, right?
Why are you nodding?
Because it's on Discord.
Oh.
Pretty sure it's on Discord.
Yeah.
How did you know that?
Because that's where Giggles runs them.
Yes, Discord.
I mean,
So
I knew
game
that,
night
but
will
I
be
didn't know that
happening
you knew that.
on Discord. So yeah, is that it for the announcements? So we got the
I
new
think so.
book, Rabbits. We've got
Rabbits.
game night. We've got the other thing.
Damn. I can't even manage. I can barely manage my own life. I know this is true. I have not joined Discord. I'm well aware. I'm sorry. But I also never check Facebook or Instagram. So I'm just trying to survive right now.
We need to finish our house.
We do need to talk about meetings next month because it's a little bit different.
There's some spring break stuff next month, and maybe some of y'all are the same. Feel free to chime in the comments if spring break is going to be a
Yeah, because I know spring break doesn't affect everyone, but should you have school-age children where spring break does affect you, spring break will be affecting us.
Yeah.
So
But if it doesn't affect you, like,
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll have
We
to
didn't
figure
talk
out.
about. We obviously didn't talk about this ahead of time, and I don't know. I don't know what.
Oh, I thought we did talk about it.
I
We
don't.
did.
Did we?
I put it on the calendar already.
Oh, we talked about talking about it.
We talked about
Oh.
talking about it.
We'll
we
get
did.
back
We
to
talked
you.
about talking
Sorry.
about it.
I just assumed we finished talking about it, but clearly I missed a
It's a
step.
conversation about a conversation.
Yes.
Well,
we'll let
Well,
y'all know.
so the next one is definitely going to be the 13th, though, and that's just going to be a club meeting. No reading required for that one.
Yes.
We're just going to hang out and play some games, probably.
Yeah. So the book discussion is the only thing we're gonna have to figure out which week it falls.
And we'll let you know
We'll
ASAP.
Let you know
Tomorrow, probably.
maybe if you're lucky.
For sure we'll know by Friday because that's when I need to update the cover photos and it'll have the dates on there. So
This happens way too often.
She does talk to herself.
I'd have like conversations in my mind and then like think that they happened and when they did not. It's like,
that's how I respond to texts. I'll open a text and then I'm like, oh, this is my response to that text. And then I get distracted or busy. And then I that person will text me again in 2 weeks and I realize I did not respond to that first text.
Is Rabbit sci-fi?
yes.
Yay!
Sweet.
Do we know how many
Clearly
pages
we're not
it
listening.
is?
It's
I
like
listened.
it's like
Is it a-
400 and something. It's a little long.
Ooh, it's a biggin.
Let me look for real though.
It's a biggin book.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's a big book, that also is going to affect
I'm going to start.
the conversation
Tomorrow.
that we need to conversate about.
Yeah. 422 pages according to Goodreads.
Oh, she's a thick one.
Adam, don't ever say that again. Abbott, it's real. Also, now I want to call you Rabbit really bad.
Yeah.
Don't call Abbott Rabbit.
I won't.
it's just Rabbit without the R. Okay.
Yep.
We did it.
do.
I think we're
Here
done.
we
I
go.
had to think of a pun and my brain broke. It's fine.
All right, so next month is happening. Will be March.
See you in 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, it's 2 weeks.
Sweet.
Yeah, because March is Friday.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
Short month.
And if this were any other year, technically March would be tomorrow, but it's a leap year.
Tomorrow's a leap
Ooh,
day.
we get an
That's
extra
right.
Yes.
day. What are you gonna do with your extra day? I'm going to do the same thing I always do.
Yeah.
Take over the world?
I have a colleague that has a birthday tomorrow. I want to ask her how old she is. She's probably like 8.
I would recommend not. I would recommend not doing that.
I'm going to do that.
To all folks, every month's reading is optional. It's too much for you to read it later. Challenge will stay up on Discord about for the month to join the stream anyway to see if it's something you want to read. We're all about no pressure. That is true. Thank you, Dan.
Seriously,
No pressure.
Sometimes it's just not a good fit, especially if it's a long book or just not the right time. And we'll never judge you for it.
I know. I was teasing earlier because I feel like this is the most supportive and understanding and encouraging book club in regards of like, did you love the book? Okay. Did you hate the book? Okay. Did you read the book? Great. Did you not read the book? Great. Like,
Cool.
Just want to hang out.
cool, man. We support you, and getting through life sometimes is just enough.
I mean, your baby was born on the 29th. That's awesome.
Oh.
Happy half birthday.
Wow.
Oh, sweet. Happy birthday. Dude.
Oh, hey, we should plug the Dark Tower group again.
Uh.
So if you're interested,
I'm all about pressure.
yeah,
On the opposite side of the spectrum.
on Discord, there's a group that's reading The Whole Dark Tower by Stephen King. And if you're interested in that at all, this is a great group to read it with.
How many
So-
books is that?
Well, we're
Like 7 or 9 or something, but there's also 2 like half books and some comics. I don't know how far y'all are going.
also for those of you saying like this is the first book I've read for Club in months, and like this is the first book club. Welcome back.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
happy
welcome
to
back.
see you. We're happy to have you back, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Feels like I came back to.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us for Literarily Wasted February. See you in March.
We
And
did
see you
it.
on the socials and on Discord.
Everybody,
Bye, everybody.
thanks for coming.
Wahoo! Let